What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode Off the Schneid. Wednesday night, April Fool's Day, April 1st. We got a little bit of news to get to when we're drafting. So couple things, obviously, to talk about. We'll just get the quick off the chest of the Underdog post today, the April Fool's joke that was really not very funny. When I first saw it, if I'm being honest, I kind of chuckled because they're obviously like playing into the bit, which is not really a bit, but they're playing into it. And I thought it was like, oh, that's kind of funny. And I was like, wait a minute, like they just fired like 100 people or whatever it was. Like I don't even know how many it was. Let's say it's 50. I don't know. Let's say it's 20. I don't care how many people it is. It's like they just laid off a whole bunch of people in the draft games team. That's not really cool to joke about. Like, it'd be like PFF saying something right now about content or something like that. Like that's not really cool to do. So I didn't really like it. Like I thought it was funny at first. The instant I thought it was funny, and then I thought about all the people they just fired in the drafts team. So I think it was very funny or very cool at the end of the day. But whatever, it is what it is. The big story, the big news is obviously the Puka Nacua situation. Pretty wild, the whole thing. Let's actually share another screen. Let's share the Twitter I got pulled up right now. Hang on a sec. Let's see if we can do this. Let's go like that. Let's do this. Let's do this. There we go. So I would recommend you go and read this article. Hayden Winks just posted it. I was just reading it. That's why I was like, 2 minutes late going live or something like that. I just popped into this and was reading it. So this is the bite mark. This is a girl's back. That's that Madison. I don't remember her last name, but the girl that he allegedly, for legal purposes, we'll say, bit. And that's pretty gnarly. But the New York Post article right here, I would recommend you go and read that if you want to get a little more clarity on the whole situation. Let's kind of stop sharing that. It's not the end of the world. Pretty wild situation. Like I think if it wasn't necessarily Puka Nacua, like looking at not something like the biting stuff, like the biting situation is completely separate from what I'm about to say. But look at someone like Max Crosby, who was going through something fairly similar before he got, big, before he became a big star in the NFL. And we never knew that until after the fact, right? And maybe that would have been the case with Puka if he wasn't a big star. Mind you, again, that's excluding the fact that he broke skin on some poor girl's back or whatever, and potentially said some offhand shit. So I don't know what's going on with Puka. Hopefully he gets it kind of figured out. Like hopefully his mental health is all there, and good on him for at least like recognizing it and checking himself into a high class or an upper class is what it says, rehab center. Hopefully he gets it figured out. Hopefully this isn't just like a preemptive move to be like, you know what, I made a mistake and all that, and he doesn't really learn his lesson. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but it's pretty messed up. I don't think there'll be like, that's the like real life talk and everything like that. As far as like just the football fantasy conversation piece, I don't think this should do anything to his value. Like if he falls in drafts, I'll scoop up all the Puka Nacua. Like he's not going to miss any time. It's March, it's April now. Sorry. But like he won't miss anything. He'll be in there for however long, like even a month is a long time in the eyes of a rehab center. Especially if it's for like alcohol. But hopefully he's figuring it out. And hopefully this story isn't exactly true. Pretty messed up if it is, but yeah, it's a weird one. This is the NFL, baby. Like this kind of shit every year, something wild comes up, and this is just the first kind of domino as far as, 4th of July hasn't even come yet. So buckle up. This is just kind of the first one that's come out, the first wild story, the first thing that's hit the airwaves kind of thing. So there's more to come, but we'll see where it goes. We got Who Ames in here. What's up, man? Cody Achan. Yeah, that's my new that's how you spell that right there. Is there? That's how you say it. Is Achan right there. Dynasty's in here. How you doing, man? We got Green Bean in the house. Appreciate you. They fired one division of the draft department. I don't know what that means. Like, how many people is that? It's pretty lame. Again, it'd be like PFF coming out right now and making an April Fool's joke about firing a whole bunch of people. So I don't think that's really cool that they did that. But Omega's in here. How you doing, man? Appreciate you. We got the Snowman. What's up? What's up? Putt Daddy's in here. How you been? Appreciate you. We got Hartman. How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, wild day. Wild kind of sequence of events to happen on April 1st. Let's jump into a draft. We're going to get into a bigger board. We got 20 left. It is 88% filled. Let's look at the fill rate here. 88%. That's crazy. It's definitely going to fill this contest. Absolutely going to fill. The 23rd is when it closes. So we've got a little over 3 weeks. I have 20 more. Like I said, I'm definitely going to finish up maxing this sucker. That's a for sure. And we'll see what happens from there. I'm interested to see. I saw Puka go earlier at 6. I would definitely take him at 6. I would take him anywhere realistically. I mean, I would take him no higher than 4 at this point. And then if he falls past that, I would take him. I don't think this affects anything as far as like his football availability and his potential for this year. I don't think that nothing changes for me. So yeah, unless some more stuff comes out. Like, it's not like there's going to be criminal charges laid here, right? Like, it's pretty weird behavior. And like, even if it's all true, like, even if it's all factual, the most messed up thing is the biting. Obviously, of course, it gives me 3rd, which is actually perfect, because then, yeah, I'll take any of the running backs or Jamar Chase. There we go. I can avoid Puka and not even feel bad about it. So someone might get a discount down here. But even if it's all true, like, what's the worst that can happen? I don't know. The worst thing is the biting for sure. The only thing that you could really prove is the biting, and the girl that he bit absolutely knows who bit him, who bit her. Sorry. But I don't know. It's kind of fucked up, but it shouldn't change his like fantasy football value, if I'm being honest. But basically, every tech company is eliminate 60% of the workforce and replace them with AI. Sounds about right. That's probably why just learn sales, man. I do sales, and I don't think I'm ever losing a job, if I'm being honest. I doubt. We'll see. Maybe I'll get replaced by, a robot. But how many more drafts you got? I have, like I said, 20 more, but 19 after this one. 19 more big boards and then 2 little boards. So let's call it an even 20 that I have left to do, unless they release something else, in which case I'll max that as well. So we'll see what they do. What does it say about the state of best ball if early competitions are confidently filling? It says it's healthy. We'll say that. Definitely going Jamar Chase over Puka at this state. It's definitely Jamar Chase over Puka. That's for damn sure. Who do we got in here? We got Green Bean. We've got Dynasty, and maybe a couple others. I don't know. Let me in. Let me know if you're in here, or go ahead and lurk and creep. Do whatever you want to do. But definitely Green Bean and Dynasty at the 11. Green Bean at the 6. Puka goes at 5. Okay, there we go. Is that all that happens? Is JSN flips Puka potentially? We'll see how it goes. It says that best ball is healthy, is what it says. I don't know how like DraftKings or drafters are doing over there, but all the tournaments, honestly, maybe the little board doesn't fill just because they made it 20 max. And that's pretty dumb, in my opinion. And everyone seems to share that sentiment that it's pretty stupid that they maxed it at 20 entries. It should have been 50 max. And then maybe we would have gotten another little board like we did last year. But I don't even know if that's what I would do if I was Underdog. I would just do 50 max little board like they had, and then do another war room or another, I don't know, something else, make up a dog name. I don't care. And have it like a 10,000 entry, 5 max, something like that. I don't know. That's what I would have done if I were Underdog, but I don't think we're going to get another tournament. I really don't. I hope we do, and I'll max it if we do, but I don't think we're going to get another one personally. Definitely not a little board. Definitely not a 50,000 entry tournament. I'd be shocked if that happens. Drafters main pre-draft filled over a week ago. Wow. Good on drafters. That's good. Good on them. Nice. So yeah, best ball is super healthy. It's only growing. It has been and still is, and it's only getting bigger. It's not going anywhere is what I'll say about best ball. So yeah, nice and blunts in the house. What's up, man? Appreciate you popping in. Saw you live with Jury earlier tonight. Good stream for you guys. I had it on in the background as I was hanging out with my child. I lurk and snipe. What's your I'm pretty sure I know your Underdog handle, Jeff. Isn't it like Jeff something or something? Like it's something along the lines of your name, I believe. Unless you're just like Krista PS or Scotty Willis. Maybe you're Scotty Willis on there. I don't know. Is that your alter ego? Not in this draft. Okay. I knew you weren't. I know your name. If I saw it, I'd be like, I know that fucking name. And then I would call you out on that one. At least I think I would. Maybe I wouldn't. I haven't drafted you in a long time, I don't think. So you might be able to pull a fast one on me. That's not true. That's not accurate. I don't think. You could be right though. You could pull a fast one on me. I don't know. You could be fine on that one. That'd kind of bother me if it was your username. What are we gonna do here? I don't even think I can realistically get unique with this. Let's pull up the combo tool with my Jamar Chase. I don't even think I can get unique. As far as like, well, if I go George Pickens, I could, but I'm not doing that. Josh Jacobs, I could, but I'm not doing that. Chase Brown, I've only done it once or twice, so I could do that, I guess. I don't think I need to really worry about getting unique, if I'm being honest, unless I do want to like pull up some guys. I don't think I want to go Chase Brown regardless. Let's just do Brock Bowers. Let's do Brock Bowers. Let's get unique with the Bowers Chase combo. Let's do that. Which is easy. It's all of these guys. It's pretty much anyone. So that's good to know. Bucky is who we took last time we had these guys. Wow, I don't have Brock Bowers paired up with a lot of these dudes. Do I go George Pickens? Do I dare? I kind of want to go Etienne. Let's go Pickens. This is the earliest I would possibly take him. So if he's gonna fall, let's give it a shot. I do want to purposefully do some zero RB type builds. I've been saying it, and I have been doing them here and there, and that's probably what this is going to be. I've basically already locked it in. But like in a vacuum, if Pickens is playing and it makes sense, give me Pickens over the rest of these guys. I should have maybe picked Etienne. I would probably have Etienne ranked higher, but let's try to have some fun And there's a 0% chance I'm ever picking Pickens before 27 is essentially like the earliest I would do it. Though I would take him over Jacobs. That's kind of for sure. And usually I do click Olave and ETN. Let's get different. Let's get fun. I did take Pickens. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm doing well, man. At Vincent, I'm doing real well, except for my ribs are killing me. I went into the boards playing hockey on Sunday and minimum bruised ribs. But I mean, I highly doubt there's a fracture in there, but it's the same goddamn thing. Like, it doesn't really matter. If you break your rib or you bruise your ribs, you do anything, there's nothing you can do about it. You just deal with it, deal with the pain. Fucking hurts. Like, breathing hurts, sleeping hurts. And I have a child, so that's friggin' really like not helping the healing, I don't think. So it's fucking killing me. I'm not gonna lie. It really hurts. It's really uncomfortable all the time. Like, even deep breath like that, it doesn't feel good. And it is what it is. The shitty thing is there's nothing like a goddamn thing you can do about ribs. You just tough it out and it heals in time. Even if it's a broken rib, it is what it is. But I'm doing well other than that. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Not trying to, piss and moan over here, but I'm doing well. I appreciate that. Actually never joined one of your drafts. Really? Are you sure? Like last year, nothing? I know you were around last year, and I'm pretty sure you drafted last year. I think you might be fibbing right now. I think you might be fibbing or misremembering, we'll say. I think you entered some drafts last year. I really do. Could be wrong. But I think you did. Solid 0 RB start. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm purposefully going for here. I really want to consciously make that happen because I do think it's a viable strategy. I really do. I really think we need to start zigging a little bit when everyone else is zagging and mix in some of these 0 RB type of stuff. They were golf drafts. It's like Dr. T or something, isn't it? It's like Dr. something. I fucking knew it. I knew it. It's like Dr. T, something like that. I knew it. Something like that. Could be another good bully TR year. Bully TR tight end, I think we're talking about. I could be wrong. Oh, man, we're almost on the clock. Let's jump in. Yeah, we're definitely going 0 RB here because we're not taking Travion here. I'll tell you that much. That's for damn sure. This is just too much of a wide receiver range. Once you don't get one of your first 3 picks, you've kind of locked in that you're bought into it and you're doing it. Definitely not taking Loveland though. That would kind of be kind of fun, realistically. But let's definitely go Terry. Terry is just the best click here for sure. So let's make that happen. Then we're real strong. And then if Pickens ends up being, a concern, which he is a concern to me, then I've got Jamar Chase and Terry McLaurin to back it up. So that's makes me feel pretty good about that. Less concerned about the combos here because I have Pickens. So that's unique for me regardless. Do I go Colston just for Does this guy go Colston? He easily could and maybe should. Waddle goes. Loveland's still there. That could be kind of fun. Then I only need 2 running backs. That's going to fill my flex a lot of the time. I'm going to do it. Bully tight end. Let's do it. I think that's what we were talking about earlier here. Yeah, bully tight end. Let's do it. Let's do it. That's kind of fun because now that if there's ever a time to do a bully tight end, I think it's in a build like this, where my 3 wide receivers are pretty much set. Right, I have my 3 wide receivers. I have a tight end and a flex a lot of times, so I only need 2 running backs to hit my lineup. And that's all I have to find is 2 running backs week in and week out. So I'm done at tight end, obviously. So that's going to give me some free clicks. I could focus on quarterback, get 2 quarterbacks, and then be done there. This is going to be a fun build. This is going to be a fun build, I feel like. I like this. I would typically never do this, ever. I would never, ever do this. But it actually makes sense in that lens, I think. I think it makes sense in that lens. If I had taken like 2 running backs and 1 wide receiver, then it makes no sense to take 2 tight ends. If I went like 3 running backs, I think that it's more difficult there. Like, I think the only way it makes sense, man, I've never really done bully tight end because I think it's a terrible strategy. I think it's an awful strategy that cannot win. But I will say that I think the only time that makes any sense is literally this build, 3 wide receiver start, and then you get 2 tight ends in there as well. So 3 wide receivers and 2 tight ends in your first 5 picks. I think he can make it work. But I feel like you have to be strong at quarterback. So I think that's something I'm going to have to focus on is be a 2 quarterback build. And then I could potentially do like a 2-8-8-2, something like that might be what we do here. We'll see. This could be really fun and different. Could be really fun and different. I like it. I think one of these 2 picks will be a quarterback, kind of regardless. Yeah, I think this is going to be a fun build. I think I have to go wide receiver again, though. If I kind of don't mind RJ Harvey, that might be a fun click now that he's so cheap. Well, now that he's a good price, we'll say. But this is definitely a fun build. There's 4 clicks that I like, so I'll take whichever one is kind of left to me, and it's not a quarterback. Perfect. So it's going to be Lemon, Harrison, Harvey, or Parker Washington. Harrison goes. Let's see who's there. Harvey goes. So it's Lemon or Washington. Let's do Parker Washington. If Mekhi Lemon's still there, I might do that and just push quarterback. We'll see. We'll see on that. I'll catch up on the chat in 2 seconds here. If it's not Lemon, okay, he's gone. Then I guess Drake May or like this. That's kind of why I took Parker Washington there, just to open up for a potential other quarterback. Do I go Drake May over these guys? I think I do. I'm going to do that. Unstack Drake May when I have Pickens and Washington is what I'm going to do. You might say that's crazy, but that's fine. I'm too old to get back on skates and not people hit me. There's no hitting in this. And we all got to go to work tomorrow type thing. Like, we're not trying to hit each other. I just went into the boards too hard trying to fish out a puck. And I went in, my elbow pad just went into my ribs, and I kind of just hit it awkwardly. And my elbow pad just fucked up my ribs. So there's definitely no hitting. We're not trying to, I got to go to work, man. I got a kid. I got a kid and a wife. I'm not trying to get hurt. Like, that's not happening. We're not hitting, but the boards aren't fucking, beanbag chairs. So I only 20 max contests, so I save the drafts for off the stream. Smart, man. Get yourself some EV. I try to not draft on anyone else's stream for the most part. To be honest, like, I watch, but I usually will draft like I'll wait for theirs to start, and then I'll maybe enter another draft. So we're kind of going side by side sort of thing. And, it's fun, but I'm not trying to draft with anyone else on stream. The only times I draft on stream is my own typically. Cause yeah, you lose EV. That's for sure. Dr. T as Tinkerbell, aka Ballerina. There's something there. Yeah. I would know it if I saw it. There weren't enough tight ends to make it work the last 7 or 8 years. Yeah, that's kind of true. Didn't stop people from doing it. I just think it's a terrible strategy regardless. Even though there's better, there's more talent at the tight end position than there's ever been. I just think it's a bad strategy because exactly what I just said is like, yeah, it's a better strategy than ever before. There's more talent than ever before. So there's more talent throughout the draft board. You can find some very talented tight ends at the end of the draft and get some more skilled positions up top. But when I can get in my opinion, the two number one passing targets in their offense, Bowers and Loveland, I think they are the number one target. And they happen to play tight end, then I don't mind doing it. And again, in a certain build like this, I think it makes sense and can work. Pulled it off with Greg Olsen and Vernon Davis. I think that worked back then. There's other times you could have done it, but I just don't think it's a good build. BBG and I went 2-8-8-2 on a 0 RB yesterday. It wasn't a bad team. I don't mind that. That might be what we end up with here. We'll see. I haven't drafted a running back yet, and we're in the 8th round. So true 0 RB is where we're at. Bummer that my QB stacks didn't fall back to me. I'm not shocked. I didn't expect them to. So I'd be shocked if they did. I'm not worried about stacking May. So that's why I took him too, because a lot of people will have Terry stacked. They'll have Pickens stacked. They'll have Bauer stacked. They'll have Chase stacked. They'll have Parker Washington stacked. A lot will. So I don't mind taking an unstacked Drake May, where I think Drake May is the type of quarterback that I really don't think you need to stack. So yeah, that's honestly why I did it. I did that on purpose to not stack. And I doubt I do. I don't think I'll stack Drake May with anyone. We're almost on the clock. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Dak is still there. He is. Wow. That would be fun if I can get him. If not, I'll be taking my first running back. Or I could go with Bo Nix. This guy's auto-drafting Dak Prescott. Cool. That feels good. Oh, he didn't. Let's auto-click Dak Prescott then. That's easy peasy. I am going to stop at 2. Probably. I am probably going to stop at 2. I'm going to stop at 2. Yeah, I'm going to stop at 2. Getting the huge discount on Dak, I think it's prudent to stop at 2. I might not even take a running back here, actually. I guess I just take Rico then. I just think Pittman's an absolute smash. I really do. I really do. But let's take Dowdle. I haven't clicked him in a while. Huge discount. Let's take Dowdle. That's the smart click. Let's just do it. It makes sense there at a nice discount. I've seen Dowdle go all the way up into the 70s, so I'll take him one pick before pick 100. Fantasy dog in here. Appreciate that. 38 watching. Hit the like button. We got 42 watching, so hit that like button if you don't mind. If you're new, like the content, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate that. Good start. I like this team. I think this is a fun build, fun team. I'm liking it so far. Man, I gotta shave my beard a little bit. I'm freaking getting no hair on my nose over here. Who knows what I'm talking about on that one? That's a beard over there. I also avoid stream job smart when I'm not doing it. Yeah, no EV for us over here. We'll compromise. I'll hop in an albatross room with you if you plan on drafting golf teams. I don't. Honestly, I know my lanes. I love golf. I love golf. And I haven't even done DFS in like a year. I canceled my subscription to Fantasy National. I used to do every week. I would do 150 entries in the mini max. I won it one time. I won the mini max one time. That was pretty fun. It's like 170,000 or something like that entries, or more than that. I don't even remember what it is because it was a long time ago. It was at Pebble Beach. It was a good one. It was fun, really fun. but I don't do well in the underdog ones. I'll say that. I'm pretty good at the DFS, but I'm awful at the underdog drafting of the albatross. So I'm not doing it. But if I was good at it, I would do it. I'm just not, and I know that I'm not. So it is what it is. How do you lose EV? I got on your pod last year, so it was plus EV for me. That's exactly how I lose EV index, because good drafters draft with us streamers. Anyone that streams, all of us streamers, we lose EV. We're giving it away because all of you guys are good too. So that's how I lose EV. You are plus EV. I'm trying to stream. I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to do the chat. I'm trying to be entertaining, all that kind of stuff, right? And yeah, it's highly negative EV for me or any streamer, and it's highly positive EV for you, the viewer, just drafting, focusing on the draft, and taking advantage of us. Plus, again, there's all these better drafters in the draft rooms with us, so that's why. So it is positive EV for you, absolutely. I'll join other streamers' lobby on occasion. We got to save more entries for my own lives. Absolutely. Usually the bigger tournaments, like biggest boards, bigger boards, stuff like that, you can't really avoid it anyways. So that's pretty much the only way I'll enter other people's streams and stuff like that, because you got to get your entries in one way or another, kind of thing. So we're definitely done at both tight end and quarterback. We're going to be done. We're going to roll with what we have. It's definitely Jadarian Price here. Huge discount again at running back. So that's kind of the nice thing about doing this build, is you get to hopefully, scoop up some value. And that's what we're going to do. So let's go Jadarian Price. I love that. Biggest downside of a stream draft is that it's usually a collective of drafters who are targeting the same players. That too. I hope people, disagree with me. I actually kind of like it. I'm fine if people disagree with me. And we all know, maybe we don't all know, but a lot of people disagree with me, which is fine. I'm confident in my track record. And it's all very public, obviously. So I'm going to go... Mike Washington's probably like the correct click, but I'm going to go with Jalen McMillan here. Let's do that. My buddy just snapped his leg getting rubbed out behind the net in the last second of a beer league game. Oh, fuck. That's awful. That's like the literal worst thing that could happen to you in beer league, is like, I'm positive he went into the boards, and that sucks. That's the worst. It's a fast game, man. It's a fast game, and ice is slippery. And yeah, that's brutal. That sucks for you, for your buddy there. C-Rod, Chris Rodriguez at 93. I'm a C-Rod further truther, but won't go that high. Yeah, way too high for C-Rod. That's a little aggressive for sure. 93 in the 8th round. Very aggressive, but I'll take it when I'm getting Dak Prescott to fall in my lap. So I'm fine. That's fine by me. I definitely would have had Rodriguez on my menu, but I don't necessarily want him with Parker Washington, but we'll see. I'm still behind the 8 ball at running back. Jesus, obviously, but we'll see if we can land the plane here. We're probably taking 8, like I said. I want a strong wide receiver room. Like, if I'm only taking 8 wide receivers, I want a strong wide receiver room as well, to kind of lock that in. That's why I took McMillan there. I think in this type of build, with what I'm doing, you kind of have to make sure that you get 3 wide receivers every week, obviously, that have to start, but also sometimes a flex, because those tight ends aren't always going to hit your flex. So sometimes a flex, and 100% 3 wide receivers. And I think we got a pretty good shot at doing that, obviously. And then running back, we're just going to throw some volume at it and see how she goes. awful at drafters, full point PPR. It's just a completely different strategy. Drafters, I appreciate it and I appreciate what they do. And I think underdogs should stay in their lane and let drafters have the full point type of thing. Like just let them have that. We don't need the marathon realistically. Like just let them do that. That's their thing. Stay in your lane, let them have it. But I don't, I just, it's a different strategy. And I just don't want to do a whole new strategy. If I'm being honest, if I like win a tournament for hundreds of thousands of dollars, then maybe it makes sense for me to, enter more drafts. But if that happens, I just don't need it. Don't know how you streamers can't draft and chat. It takes some time to get used to. I'll tell you that, but you get used to it. You figure it out. Think it's less that you're going to take the streamers guys and more that the tendency of particular streamers listeners who join in. Definitely like everybody, like you get to know, obviously you guys get to know how I draft a little bit, or any streamer, you get to know how they draft a little bit. Let's make this pick and then we'll finish this thought. We're going to go Krosky Merritt hasn't fallen enough yet. I mean, I guess it's Juwan Jennings, but he could fall a little more for me. I think Tyrone Tracy makes sense here. I think he makes sense. I've got some Dallas, Washington. There's some correlation there. All you have to do is dodge Jeremiah Love going to the Giants. That's all you have to dodge for Tracy to have some nice value. I don't think there's any other, running back realistically that they would take, because I don't, if they don't get Love in the first, I don't think they're taking a running back in the second. And in the third, it doesn't really, I don't think it'll hurt Tracy. So unless it's like Jadarian Price in the second, which I highly, highly doubt, I don't think it can hurt Tracy. So again, all you have to really dodge is Love going there at 5th overall. Keaton Mitchell is going to be my next click for sure, but that's how she goes. I kind of want Jennings, but I don't think it makes sense. And there he goes. So that's kind of good. I think I have to go with Jonathan Brooks. I don't have very much at all. And the potential that is there, I can't deny. And when 0 RB, I think you got to do it. I got to do it. If I'm ever going to draft Jonathan Brooks, now's the time. So let's do it. So yeah, I learn your tendencies as well. You learn mine. And even just there's certain drafters that are live on Twitter a lot, like Gritty. Like everybody knows how Gritty's going to draft for the most part. So yeah, you figure out guys' tendencies, and it helps or it doesn't. Like you zigzag. Like if you do volume, like I do, and a lot of streamers do, then like I don't really care. Like I'll do other things, like I want exposure to other things. So I don't mind if I get like sniped. It doesn't really matter. I'll take somebody else. Like it's not the end of the world. I'm going to get my guys at the end of the day. I'm 68 or whatever, 66% Jeremy Bernard. And I don't get them a lot in stream drafts because people know I want them, but it's not going to stop me from getting my guys kind of thing. Why didn't I take T-Law with Parker Washington? Because a lot of people, including myself, have a lot of stacks with Parker Washington and Terrence and Trevor Lawrence. So I want to mix and match those a little bit. Like I want some of them paired up and I want some of them without each other, if that makes sense. Like again, Drake May, I'm not going to stack. I'm going to have an unstacked Drake May on this team 100%. And then I have, Dak stacked up with Pickens. That's great. I've got to bring back with McLaurin. I've got to bring back with Tracy potentially. Right. And then, some NFC teams that are here. You never know. You could play some NFC teams, right? It's always kind of on the table. So I just want to mix and match a little bit of everything, and I'll take the falling value with Drake May because then it's a little bit more unique. So again, I want a little bit of everything, but I definitely want to purposefully do stuff like that. So again, it's just another conversation when we're talking about volume. You want to do a little bit of everything when we're talking volume, and purposefully do a little bit of everything because again, like you can't just end up with the same teams every time. so I don't mind if, again, going back to the volume thing and drafting and streaming and all that, like, I don't mind if anyone snipes me, go ahead and snipe me, because I'll just do something else. It's not the end of the world. Like, I need X percent of X player anyways. So that's the kind of thing. Is your name based on something, a Schneider? No, it's Off the Schneid is just a saying for like getting like a slump buster, essentially, like busting a losing streak, right? Sort of thing, getting off the Schneid. It's a common sports term. It's more hockey. It's a hockey term for the most part. But it works for kind of anything. Hockey can be brutal. It's a tough sport. It's hard. It's a hard sport. It's very, very difficult. I'm not going to lie. It's a harder sport than any other sport I've ever played in my life, and I've played everything. Very slim margins as far as, error, winning, losing, that kind of stuff, being good, being bad. It's there's not a lot of room. There's not a lot of room to hide. You know what I mean? So it's super fun, though. I'm having a blast. I'm going to go Emmanuel Wilson here. I think makes a lot of sense. If Jadarian Price ends up being the first-round pick for the Seahawks, then I guess this hurts it a little bit, but I think they'll be okay. Halani's still there as well, but I'm not going to not draft Wilson just saying Price goes to the Seahawks. It is what it is, and I'm just not going to play that game because it's fool's gold typically. Wanted McMillan for the double. Sorry, man. That's what you get for taking Jeremy Bernard from me the other night. You took Mike Washington. That would have been the other click. Literally, that was the guy that I said might actually be the correct click, is Mike Washington over McMillan, but kind of laid out my reasoning why I went with Jalen McMillan there. We're going to go Dylan Sampson here. I think he's just an absolute smash down here. I really do. I really, really do, especially in a build like this. We're getting there. We're landing the running back plane. 4 straight RBs. I think we're making it work. 46 watching. That's right. 41 now. Hit that like button if you're still watching. Or if you're new and like the content, hit the subscribe button. Thoughts on Metcalf, season long wide receiver 2. I like Pittman a lot. I'm not a big Metcalf guy. You just never know what you're going to get. Like I was at one point, I was like, man, this guy is an absolute freak of nature. Like DK Metcalf physically is an absolute freak of nature, but he just hasn't put it all together. Like he's absolutely not a complete wide receiver. He is very far from being a complete wide receiver. This is pretty much what you're going to get from him. Like he's going to max out here, maybe get a few more catches. Like 50% catch rate is pretty porous. A little bit better this year. So maybe it's somewhere in between 100, let's call it 130 targets and 75 catches, 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns is where he absolutely maxes out. And that's if everything is like perfect for him. And everything is absolutely not perfect for him in Pittsburgh, especially with a guy like Pittman coming in. So I'm not drafting Metcalf. I would look at him as more like, if it's like a managed league, I would look at him as like a wide receiver 3. So I'm only 1%, and that's only when he falls heavily. I think it shows my average ADP on, can I find it on here? Does it work? I think it shows it to me on, 81 is my average. And wow, he's falling. So, okay. But I've only taken him twice. So 2 clicks, one at 81, or sorry, my average is 81. So there you go. I'm kind of off DK by a good margin. Gabs in here. What's up, man? Appreciate you popping in. We got a pick coming up here. Yeah, that's how you should be drafting. Just that's what I mean by take the best player available, best team possible, right? That's why that's kind of why I take Drake May over T-Law in a vacuum. Who's a better fantasy pick, it's Drake May for me. I think it makes sense to take another running back here. I think in this build, it makes sense to take Braylon Allen. I've definitely come down. I was at like 30% Braylon Allen at one point because I really liked him before the whole Breece Hall going to be a jet kind of thing happened. So I like Braylon Allen in this type of a build. I like this running back room actually, and I'm going to add one more. So I think we're landing this plane just fine. Just fine. I like this team. It's fun. It's definitely a little bit fun. I have my concerns about David Njoku. Some strong concerns about David Njoku. He hasn't signed yet. His best days might be behind him. Where does he even go that it's a huge benefit to him? Like, where's left that really works? Miami, I'm a fan of Dulcich personally, and I think they are too. I'm going to do Chris Brazzell here. I do want a little bit more. I want to be just like floating around the 8%. I don't think that that's average at this point in the draft as far as ownership, the 8.3%, but let's take Chris Brazzell here. I love Tracy. Tyrone Tracy? I have like 3% Tyrone Tracy. I definitely wouldn't say I love Tyrone Tracy. That's for sure. I don't know who another Tracy you'd be talking about, but I have like 5 clicks of Tyrone Tracy. But yeah. definitely some thirsty rookie drafters out there. How many do I have? 2? I just took my second there. Yeah. Sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes it doesn't. Some of my teams are heavy rookie. Some of mine are all vets. First time I've heard OTS saying thanks. I don't say thank you. What's going on? What's going on here? Puka, Washington, and Metcalf. Yeah, I mean he'll definitely pop a little bit. He'll get there some weeks for sure, but just consistency. He's a best ball pick. I'll say that. I just think his price is egregious. Off the Schneid is used in baseball too, and it's any sport. It's any sport really. It's a sports term. Just off the Schneid. Oh, first you've heard off the Schneid as a saying. Gotcha. Yeah, it's pretty common. Pretty common. It's used in the papers, and well, just Google it and you'll see all kinds of uses for it. Getting off the Schneid. I'm glad it's unique. If he's still available, you target Najee. He'll probably be shooting up the boards once he signs. It sounds like it won't be long. He could sign with the Raiders. He's visiting tomorrow, I should say. He's visiting with the Raiders tomorrow. So it could be there. I have 25% Najee. I think he's a great click down here. Historically, Tracy, I don't think I agree with you, Index. I've never really been a big Tracy guy. As a rookie, I didn't like him because he was a transitioning wide receiver. He played running back 1 year in college, so I thought he was still learning the position. I didn't really like him as a rookie. Yeah, last year I thought he was okay, but I definitely wasn't. I've never really been a big Tracy bull. If you want to find me some proof, you can do that. I've never been a big Tyrone Tracy guy. I don't mind him. I think he can make sense, but I'm not entirely sure where you're getting that from, if I'm being honest. Who do we like here? I think I'm going to take another rookie running back. There's no real wide receivers that I need here. Flournoy makes some sense with Dak, but I just don't think I want to go down that road. I'm going to take Damon Claiborne. I'm almost at 4%. This basically puts me at 4%. I think it makes sense in this build. And now I'm done at RB with 8. That feels pretty good. There's some wide receiver clicks I like down here, so I'll be 2 more wide receivers to finish this build out. Jordan James could have made some sense. Was he still there? No, he couldn't have been there. I would have taken Jordan James for sure. Oh yeah, he's long gone. Okay. I'm only like 11% Jordan James, something like that. 10% Jordan James. I like Jordan James. He's a great click. So I would definitely take him if he was there. I'm going to take Tyquan Thornton. I think he is a great click down here. So let's do that. And then one more before we're done. We'll rip another draft here quick. My 90% Jordan James bag is trending up. I wonder if he's going to I wonder where he's going to get to OTAs, and he's squarely CMC's backup. He'll fly up the board. We'll see if they draft somebody, which they very much might. I think the Niners would be very, very live too, but that's not a reason to not draft Jordan James. That's for sure. Obviously, I'm doing it. I've got above the field, well above the field. I don't have quite 19%, but I'm well above the field as far as Jordan James ownership. So yeah, we'll see. He'll fly up the board if he is the direct handcuff 100% to Christian McCaffrey, and we know that during OTAs, which like we should have a pretty good idea because Christian McCaffrey ain't doing a goddamn thing at OTAs. I'll tell you that much. So we should get a good feel for who's going to be, in the timeshare behind him sort of thing. And if Jordan James kind of comes out on top, then man, I don't know where he flies up to. Probably he goes ahead of Pacheco and Connor. Probably up around here, 12th round, right around here, around the Tyrone Tracy, Krosky, or Keaton Mitchell area. Around 12th round, something like that, I would think he would fly up to. We'll see. Tyrone Tracy wasn't even in the big board player pool as a rookie. There you go. Didn't need him. I wouldn't have drafted him as a rookie if I'm being honest. I don't think I did much when he was available over the summer in Best Ball Mania season. Like I said, he was learning the position as a rookie. I think he had an okay year. Don't get me wrong, but so I guess you could say I was wrong on that one. But yeah, I've never been a big Tyrone Tracy guy. I'm not really sure where that one's coming from, but I think he goes higher than the 160s for sure. I think he moves up to about the 12th round, 140s, something like that would be my guess. Passed on Flournoy. Yeah, I don't think it's necessary to double stack whatsoever. I really, really don't. If I'm taking if I were taking 9 wide receivers, I'd probably be more likely to double stack with Flournoy there. But only taking 8, it's really, really not necessary, in my opinion. It's really, really, really not necessary. That's kind of just how I feel about it, especially in the big board. I'm going to take Antonio Williams. I assume he's going to be there still. I do want to get up to, where am I at? Hurst. Did he go already? Ted Hurst is gone. I'm about 11%, 12% Ted Hurst. I'm about 10% Skylar Bell. And I kind of want to get Antonio Williams at least close to that. He's I think he's like my 12th ranked wide receiver or something like that. And he's still hanging around in Daniel Jeremiah's top 50. He's just super safe as a prospect. So I think I should give him a little bit more respect. But this is a fun build. This is my first 2-8-8-2 build, that's for sure. Drake May, Dak Prescott, Rico Dowdle, Jadarian Price, Tyrone Tracy, Jonathan Brooks, Emmanuel Wilson, Dylan Sampson, Braylon Allen, and Damon Claiborne. I actually really like this running back room. It's pretty fun. I think I can find 2 in there week in and week out. I really, really do. That's all I need. I need 2 of these guys to show up each week, essentially. And I think I can make it work from there. Jamar Chase, George Pickens, Terry McLaurin, Parker Washington, Jalen McMillan, Chris Brazel, Tyquan Thornton, and Antonio Williams. I'm happy with that, especially this top 3 is super strong. We'll see what happens with Pickens, but I think it's worth the gamble, again, in this exact build and strategy. especially with Parker Washington there. That makes sense. I like the Jalen McMillan. So really, it's like my top 5 I'm really happy with. A couple rookie shots and then a spike week kind of guy. I think that can work a lot. And then Bowers, Loveland, my tight end spots definitely taken care of. And I'm going to get a flex out of that a lot of the time. This is really fun, I think. This is a true, proper 0 RB, shout build, if you will. Pick 199 literally is the first running back I take. I think that can work. I think it's pretty fun. My OCD is so satisfied when triple stacking quarterbacks with their tight ends. that can look fun, that's for sure. Is that what you did here? Let's take a quick peek. Kelsey Okonkwo Barner. That's exactly what you did. There you go. That's fun. Crossface in here. Nice squad. Appreciate that. Let's jump into another one quickly. Let's get that going. One more big board. 19 left. 18 after this. Waiting on 6. Jump in if you want to jump in. We'll see on the first few picks with the combo tool. Shout out Best Ball overlay. If you do volume, you like what you're seeing with the Best Ball overlay, the combo tool, all that kind of stuff. Bunch of new stuff coming on the website as well. You feel like you could use it, go down in the description, promo code OTS, get yourself 25% off. $40 becomes $30. I honestly highly recommend it. I would never push something that I don't literally use myself. Yeah, I would highly recommend it if you're doing volume. If you only do like 50 drafts, not necessary. I'll be honest with you. Not necessary. If you do 500 drafts or more, or even like, I would say 200 to 250. If you do 2 to 250, something like that, that's volume. That's where I think it's necessary. Other than that, I think you're fine without an overlay. I'll be honest with you. But if you do any kind of volume, 200 plus, let's say, I think it's necessary to manage your portfolio. I really, really do. So there you go. Krista PS in this is again, so maybe watching, maybe just drafting along. Dynasty, Green Bean, Mastakilla, kind of like that. But we got Hartman at the 8 spot, Fantasy Dogs at the 9 spot, Todd 0905 maybe is in the chat as well. He's in this one again. So at the 11 spot, one badgeless over here. We'll see how that goes. B Money 007. I haven't drafted at the 12 spot in a little while. Let's see how that goes. Might try to get unique. I haven't drafted down here in a long time, so might try to do something fun. Maybe flip the board a little bit. We'll see. Maybe flip the board just a little bit. I think that could be fun. Let's see where Puka goes. Yo, Adrian! 1990. Kind of like that. My turn for Puka at 5. We'll see. There he is. He's there for you if you want him. And he goes at 5. All right. So we haven't seen him go further than 5. I saw him go 6 earlier today. People are talking 7, stuff like that. We'll see. I mean, if he goes at 7, if he's there for me at 7, I'll take him every single time at 7. I'll tell you that much. I will tell you that for free. Genty pulled up at 7. I like to take Genty at 7 a lot as well. I think that's a good click there. Hartman goes McCaffrey. I would have taken McCaffrey at 12, obviously. But I do have to get a little more exposure to Christian McCaffrey. I'm not trying to 0% him. I'm only at like 2.3 or something like that. I'd like to get that up to at least like 4 or 5. Is kind of where I want to be on McCaffrey. If CD is there, I'll take CD. If Jefferson's there, I will not take Jefferson. CD's there, so that's what I'm going to do at 12. I'll just take the value there. I'll try to get unique, I guess. Let's see. HN I haven't taken with them. Let's do that. I think that makes a lot of sense. I only have 5.4%. I think it makes a lot of sense to take HN here. It's unique for me. I don't have that combo. Let's do it. That makes a lot of sense. I'd like to get a little more. I'm definitely not trying to fade HN. He's just too talented and too much of a game breaker to fade him in any sense of the word. So I probably will be below the field, but only by like this click puts me at about 5.7, something like that. So yeah, somewhere around 6-7% is where I want to be on HN. A little bit below the field, but definitely can't be full fading the guy in any way, shape, or form. I don't think that's good business. So that's fun. Lamb HN. That's a cool start. I'll bite, I guess. Pun intended. On Puka. I feel you. I get it. I get it. Pun intended. Monroe Henry, that's fun. Cook Neighbors is not exactly what I would do personally, but that could be fun. I don't mind this if you're gonna like flip the board a little bit with Chase Brown. That's kind of what I was thinking is like Lamb Chase Brown, though I think I've done that over here, like in the middle at 7 or something like that. I think I've done like a Lamb HN or sorry, a Lamb Brown sort of thing. So but that's kind of a good shout to just flip the board like that. I kind of like it. Puka Love Dynasty, that's fun. That's real fun. Puka Love. That's a good start. I'm full fading the dentist. That's why I have no teeth. Looks like you got some teeth in this picture, unless that's some AI generated photo. Never recommend the full fade. Yeah, I'm not afraid to full fade some guys, but it's definitely not going to be Devon HN. I'll tell you that much. Green Bean going with a little 0 wide receiver. The Gritty. Green Bean pulling a Gritty over here. Shout out Gritty. Let's see how this ends up for us. I do want to make sure my combos for the first like 5 rounds roughly. Then it just becomes structure, like I always say. And then it just becomes kind of a structure thing when you're this deep in draft season. Like early in draft season, it's great to have the combo tool for, throughout the whole draft. But once you're this late in the season, it's more about like overall exposures, and then structure is really the biggest thing that matters this late. I only have 20 drafts left, so it's not really about combos past the first few rounds, in my humble opinion. And there's definitely some guys that I want to get a little bit more volume on. So we'll see who falls to us. We'll see if we get some value. See if we get some value. Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm 0% on Rashee Rice and Cam Scatterboo as well. 0% Quinshon Judkins. By that I mean 1 click, because PPR Tyler made me. But I didn't like it. I didn't want to do it. Let's do AJ Brown. If he's going to fall, I'll have to take him. I cannot believe that I have 0 shares of Ladd McConkey with CeeDee Lamb. That's kind of wild to me. So we're definitely going to do that. That's, again, shout out to the combo tool, shout out best ball overlay. Like, that's a gap in my portfolio that is not particularly acceptable. So yeah, when I'm 10% plus on CD Lamb and 15% plus on Lad McConkey, and I don't have them paired, and they go in the same area of the draft that they should be paired, that's a gap in my portfolio. So let's correct that. So it's exactly why you have an overlay. Literally perfect example right there. And we're 20 drafts left in the draft cycle, and I have that gap. Damn, that's wild. That's wild that I have that gap, considering especially early on, I was and still am high on CD Lamb, but I was very high on Lad McConkey, and I should be even more high now because no one signed there. So to see that gap, that's wild. That's wild to me. So happy to. I might have to do that a few more times before the draft season's over, because that's kind of unacceptable to me. What OC is fire with their new team? Mike McDaniel with the Chargers is my favorite by far. I do like sneaky. That's a big reason why I like Michael Pittman a lot. I don't even remember his name, but the old tight end coach for the Minnesota Vikings, and I think passing game coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings that went to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's a sneaky good hire. It's like some Italian name or something like that. I can't remember his name exactly, but the Steelers OC I think is a sneaky good hire for that team in that offense. Clint Kubiak with the Raiders obviously is a great get for them. So like if I were to rank it, like Mike McDaniel for the Chargers for sure number one, Clint Kubiak for the Raiders probably number two, and then I would put that sneaky higher for the Steelers at number three. I think that's and with Mike McCarthy coming in too will only kind of help with that. So the Steelers would be kind of my sneaky number three. Though we don't know exactly who the quarterback's going to be. Probably Aaron Rodgers, but we don't know for sure. Rice either deserves to be a mid-second round pick if he plays all year, or not drafted at all if he's suspended. 35th overall is average between those worlds, I suppose. I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. Like, I think that's what Jeff is saying here. The risk outweighs the upside. I agree with that. Downside risk outweighs the upside. Yeah. And like, what I always say, and I've been saying over and over, and I've been saying about Rice, is like when someone tells you what they are, believe them. And not only is he a piece of shit, he's potentially not that good at football, realistically. Like I think he's good. His underlying metrics are really good. I get it, all that kind of stuff. But torn ACL, Patrick Mahomes coming back, Kenny Walker comes in. We know that they want to run the ball. That's what Andy Reid has told us for the past like 4 seasons, at least 3. Like, let's look at Patrick Mahomes' numbers. I've been fucking shitting on Patrick Mahomes for the last like 3 years. Like ever since 2022, look at these numbers. He hasn't surpassed 300 fantasy points as a quarterback, which is kind of sad. He's never gotten 30 total touchdowns. That's not good. If we're being honest, like we need to be honest about Patrick Mahomes. And I seem to be the only one that is just going to call it like it is. Everyone still wants to live in 2022 where he's throwing 40 touchdowns and 4,500 yards and all this kind of shit. It's just not the game that Andy Reid plays anymore. It's just not. So it is what it is, guys. Like we need to let it go as a community. I'll be in on Scatable for BBM if Jeremiah Love is not a giant. However, 5th round is too high of backup RB, not worth the downside risk. Exactly. Plus just the injury concern. Like even if Love doesn't go there, if Love is not drafted by the Giants, I am not drafting Cam Scatable in the 5th round. Never going to happen. Not doing it. The downside risk is his friggin' head turning into mush. And the injury last year, like that was a very devastating injury to his knee. And then, his head is another issue altogether kind of thing. So let's pull up the combo tool. Just take a look, mostly with CeeDee Lamb. And I guess McConkey would be the other one where I kind of want to mix up some exposures. Definitely, like I said, will not be Cam Scatterbo. I can tell you that for free. I might just go Tootin and Montgomery. That kind of makes some sense. Definitely Montgomery. just under 10%. Tootin, Lamb, Brown, McConkey, Tootin, Montgomery. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do Tootin. And Montgomery. Let's do that. Balance it out. Avoid the 0 RB situation. There's either that or like Makai Lemon or Harrison. I do want to get my Makai Lemon back up to over 15%. That's kind of my minimum for Makai Lemon. I'm a big Makai Lemon guy. He's my number 1 wide receiver. So I need to practice what I preach on that one. I haven't drafted Mahomes for years too. Yeah, I think he's been a bad click. He's been a bad click. So I'm not. What am I this year? Let's see where I'm at on Mahomes. I'm probably like under 2%, 1.6. I've clicked him twice. So yeah, not for me personally. Not for me personally. Scoutable would be Javonte if they don't take Love, like it or not. I mean, as like in a video game on paper, yeah, sure. I just don't like how he runs at all. Like, you got to take care of yourself in this game. We all know how violent of a sport football is. And you got to take care of yourself a little bit. And you know what, like, the one thing that can kind of assist with that or take away from having to use your head as a battering ram is athleticism. And Cam Skattebo is not a very athletic guy. Like, as far as football players are concerned, he could run circles around me, obviously. But as far as football players are concerned, especially running backs, he's not the most athletic guy out there. So it doesn't like give him any grace as far as that's concerned. So if he's going to play the game where he's the fucking dinosaur with a football helmet on his head and just smash his face into other guys, I'm going to avoid that player. I don't care what his, if he stays healthy, potential upside is. And this is where people disagree with me, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with people disagreeing with me. Go ahead and draft Cam Skattebo. I'm not going to. In the 5th round, I will not be drafting Cam Skattebo in BBM season. I promise you that. If Jeremiah Love is not on the Giants, I will not be drafting Cam Skattebo in the 5th round. Period. End of story. So it's just how it's going to be for me. I no longer get Montgomery. He's at 67 for you. Give me Montgomery over Skattebo. Straight up, 100%. Give me Montgomery over Skattebo. This is elusive as a brick wall. Exactly. Like, his athleticism does not lend to him being able to escape or avoid contact in any way, shape, or form. Like, it's not the dude is Marion Barber, realistically, and that's how he plays. Tell me how long Marion Barber played in the league for. That's really creepy. BBO is showing I have the exact same ownership percentage on my three wide receivers. Talking about your OCD. That's got to feel good though, right? That's got to feel nice. Some running backs are falling a little bit. I do need some more Ramondre. That's for sure. Only 3.9%. How many clicks is that? 5 clicks of Ramondre. Definitely need a little bit more of that. It's definitely not a wide receiver range. So maybe I should have went wide receiver over Tootin. I maybe should have went like Parker Washington over Tootin or Lemon. It's definitely going to be Herbert. That's obvious with Vlad. Ricky makes a lot of sense. But I don't think I want to do that either. Let's go Herbert and Dart. I think I can stop at 2 there. I think I can stop at 2. Herbert's going to play through anything and everything. And hopefully Dart can stay healthy. So let's do that. Yeah, he'll go up. He'll go up if Love isn't there. I don't think he should. I think he's too high already. So yeah, I think he's too high already. And if Love doesn't go there, I think he should still. I think he will still be too high. I think he should still fall. Like, give me Montgomery. I'm not going to say give me Tootin over him quite yet, but like realistically, kind of, just because again, the athleticism, the big playability for Tootin. They're probably, well, they're definitely not drafting a running back high. The Jags. Scatterboo Hubbard, that's a conversation I'd be willing to have. Scatterboo versus Hubbard. Give me probably RJ Harvey over Scatterboo, especially cost considered. Same sort of thing with cost considered. Give me Warren, Stevenson, Dowdle, Algier, probably even Monagai, maybe. It's conversation, less of a conversation with Monagai, but Algier, Dowdle, Stevenson, Warren. Like, give me all these guys at cost where I can get these awesome, especially with like the area that he goes with all these wide receivers that I like Tate, Washington, Lemon, Harrison, even probably BTJ. Yeah, maybe BTJ. Either way, like there's just so many better clicks. And then the quarterbacks are in there as well. For me, it just never makes sense to click Kemp Scatterboo personally. Average drafts for Pro Bowl RBs and safeties are 6.6. Don't need to be a great athlete to be a great running back to play devil's advocate. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, if you run the way he runs and like throw your face into dudes' heads, like, it's the way he runs. I'm not saying you have to run 4.3 and, I'm not saying you have to be, 6'1", 220 and run a 4.3. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you don't have to run like your talent, your skill as a running back can't be, I'm going to smash my face into his face and my face is stronger. That can't be your skill. That can't be your talent, man. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So Scatterboo feels like the second coming of Peyton Willis, and we know Hillis, and we know how that turned out. I could see that. I think he just plays the game like Marion Barber, and Marion Barber lasted like 2 great seasons, and then he was done and out of the league, and it was not a good situation for Marion Barber. And I think rest in peace, Marion Barber. I could be wrong on that if I'm being honest. I don't want to, say that and be totally wrong because that's not cool either. But it's just not good. It's not good if that's your talent, if that's your skill. We're definitely going to go Worthy, especially because I got a little Chargers thing going on as a potential bring back. Let's do Worthy for sure. Gadsden makes a lot of sense. Does he make sense more than Price? Kind of does. He kind of does. Let's do it. He kind of does when I have 3 RBs. I'm definitely not stacking Dart in any way, shape, or form, unless it's likely. Maybe I would have likely, but no running backs, wide receivers with Dart. So if I end up being, unstacked Dart, then double stacked Herbert feels good, especially with what I just said about Mike McDaniel. I just think the Chargers are super live for the Super Bowl. I really, really do. I've been saying that for months. You heard it here first on that one. Sussin here. What's up, man? Appreciate you popping in. Agreed on Scat. Why don't we get an injury discount for slow RBs whose foot detached from his leg with ligament tears? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a bunch of guys that we're not getting any injury discount on. Judkins being one, Scatterboo being another, and Christian Watson being the last one there that I just do not think make any sense as far as their price. And we're not getting any kind of discount, which we should be. We should be getting an injury discount on all 3 of these guys. And we're paying the absolute ceiling. Why? That's why I'm very low on all of them. I'm 0% except for the one bully share of Judkins, 0% Scatterboo, and I have 2 clicks of Christian Watson. So that's kind of how I feel about that. It doesn't make sense to pay the absolute ceiling ever, in my opinion. I think that's bad business, kind of ever, no matter what. Like, it really takes a special situation, and one that an example I'll give as far as a special situation that I'm willing to pay some of the ceiling because I don't want a zero is Luther Burden. That's the perfect example of a guy that I don't necessarily believe is worth the cost. But I'm too afraid of fading Luther Burden at this ceiling price. That's like one of the rare ones. I don't think there's another one at all here that I think I'm just paying it because I'm scared of fading them. I really don't. I can't think of anyone. I'm not seeing anyone. Like Luther Burden's the only guy in this entire draft board that I'm willing to just say, fuck, I can't fade him. I can't fade him. I don't like the price, but I can't fade him. Other than that, I fade. So I agree with this statement. Very little scat, but could see him getting 12 to 20 rushing TDs if he stays healthy. I think that's wishful thinking. Very much so. But, and hey, if you guys like Scattaboo, who I'm saying he does, draft him. Disagree with me. I'm not going to be offended. You can absolutely draft Cam Scattaboo. I'm just not doing it. Definitely not conducive to a long career, 17 game seasons, but it's fun to watch. Same with Marion Barber, man. You ever go watch Marion Barber highlights after this? After this show's over, we're gonna wrap up after this draft on YouTube. Type in Marion Barber highlights. Fun watch, I'll tell you that. He did pass away. Yeah, rest in peace, Marion Barber. So, story was strange. He's found in his house with the heat cranked and died from heat stroke. Crazy. That is kind of strange. Rest in peace, Marion Barber. That's for sure. We got some good stuff on him. His highlight reel is really fun to watch. I'll tell you that. I think Roman's more talented than Burden. So do I. I think Loveland's more talented than Burden. And there's no chance in the world that all three of them pay off their cost. There's a chance that two of them do. Absolutely. But all three, no way. No way all three pay off the cost. So we're just, I'm getting a little bit of everyone is what I'm doing because I'm not going to fade Luther Burden at his price that I don't like at all. I hate his price, but I'm not fading him. I am not fading him. I'll tell you that for free. We're going to do Rashad White because I just want a little bit more, and I kind of like him there. It should be likely, but I'm actually going to do Omar Cooper. I think I need a wide receiver here more. I think a wide receiver is much more important. I'm only at 4. I do like my 4, but I think it's more important for me to get a wide receiver than a second tight end, even though it stacks. I've got a lot of likely already as it is. If he falls back to me, which I highly, highly doubt, but if he does, I'll snap click him, obviously. I just think it's way more prudent to take a wide receiver there. Much more prudent. I could have went Cooper and likely there. Maybe that's actually the correct direction instead of Rashad White, but I don't know. I don't want to fall too much further behind at running back either. So let's kind of just mix in a little bit of everything here. Let's do that. Josh Allen, I pay because I'm scared to fade. I guess I'm kind of in that boat too, but what am I at, Josh Allen? It's pretty light. Let's throw a space in there. It's 10%. Wow. Okay, I guess I am too. I didn't know I was that high on fucking Josh Allen. I'll tell you that. Jeez. Wow. Shocking. That is shocking to me, but okay. I guess I am too. I'm light on the Bears because the cost is so high and you can have 3 teams competing for Caleb. Not a game I want to play. Yeah, that's fair. I think Caleb might be, he's one of my top 3 quarterbacks for sure. I like Caleb a lot. He offers a lot of rushing upside. I have a lot of him with Loveland. I have a lot of him with Rome. I have a bit of him with Burden because I have the least amount of Burden. I just want to be like at or around the field on Burden. I'm overweight Loveland. I'm overweight Odunze. And this guy got double stacked Loveland and Odunze with Williams. And then he did the Bowers thing. That's kind of interesting. He got Pittman. That's fun. Kind of landing the plane. He's going to be light at running back, but Gibbs will help. Though Corum and Krosky Merritt is kind of dusty to me. I don't mind Corum at all, but Krosky doesn't really offer much in my opinion. Maybe he does, but we'll see. If Love goes there, it kills him completely. And I think I think a couple other running backs could go there. Obviously not in the first round besides Love. But I think his value could be completely gone after the draft with a few guys, in my opinion. Pairs up Pickens with Dak. I'm not. I just think Ben Johnson's offense is fantastic. I can't be low on the Bears. I just can't. I think they're fantastic. I think Caleb is fantastic. I think Loveland's amazing. I think I really like Roma Dunze and Burden. Like I'm too scared to fade. I'm just too scared to fade them. It's not happening. So I'm just gonna be at the field, call it a day, get my shares, move on with my life. You know what I mean? You feel me? Definitely going to be a tight end here. Someone. Definitely taking a tight end. Don't think Strange is the best click here. I think he should fall, especially when I have Tootin. I don't think that makes sense personally. Could go Conquo, but again, with Rachaad White, let's go Juwan Johnson. I think he makes the most sense right here. And then I think it's either Judy or Debo. Let's take Debo. I just want to be at the field, and I'm right there. I think I've been saying he's live and maybe more live now than ever to go to the Rams. Follow Cliff Kingsbury there, right? They could use a player like Debo. They've always, not always, but they like having players like Debo when they had Robert Woods. He's that kind of player. So I think he'll fit in that offense like a glove. Back to the West Coast. I think it makes a lot of sense for Debo. I think it makes a lot of sense for the Rams. But we'll see if that ends up happening. I just want to be at the field, and that's kind of right where I'm at with Deebo Samuel. I'm reading up on that Barber story. Apparently, he liked to work out in high heat. So sad. Interesting. I mean, I guess that's good, but like loosens you up for sure. But that's interesting. High heat. 0% burden. Can't take him over the wide receivers in the 40s and 50s. I don't disagree. I'm just saying I'm afraid to do that. I think like the possibility that he could just go off and be the number one guy is absolutely on the table. It's there. I don't necessarily agree with it, but it's absolutely there. So I just can't do it. I have to pay the price a little bit. I have to get enough. I have to be around the field, probably a little lighter, but around the field. I just can't full fade Burden. I can't. I can understand why you wouldn't, or why you would full fade him. I can understand that, but it's just not for me. I'm just not doing it. I can't do it. I'm too scared. And usually I'm not. I'm the least scared guy to full fade. I full faded Genty last year. I full fade guys all the time. And the chat will tell you. I full fade a lot of guys. I took my first click of Malik Neighbors yesterday, I think. First click. So I'm not afraid to full fade a guy typically, but Burden is that special case, the once upon a time type of situation that I'm too scared to fade. Doesn't happen a lot, honestly. It really, really does not, but here we are. I agree with this. Loveland is the best Bears click. I do agree with that. I think he's the number one target in that offense. Tynasty's overweight on the Bears. So am I. Johnson over Chig is crazy talk. I don't think it makes sense when I have Rachaad White, and they, in theory, should be battling for the same type of touchdowns, being the passing down back most likely versus the tight end. I think that they would be competing for a lot of the same touchdowns. So that's the reason why I have a higher percentage of Chig, if that makes you feel better. I draft Chig more than Juwan Johnson, if that makes you feel any better. But McVay would do that just to piss off Shanny. He would, and it just makes sense for his team too. It really does. It really makes sense. And plus, Cliff Kingsbury comes over from Washington, right? So I have the glow. Burden being a spike week guy, I wouldn't want 0% because one spike week 16, you're most likely dead. In total points, probably a better argument. I could see that. I would agree with that in the total points. Full fading Burden is what hating money looks like. Jackson Hawes in the 14th. Did that happen? What the heck? The Josh Allen drafter. Green Bean, did you get star method? Green Bean's in the chat. You've been outed. You've been outed by the chat, Green Bean. What happened there? Had to have been a star method. Had to have been. Shanny McVay are beefing because Shanny thinks McVay pushed the Niners. Yeah, I saw that. I'm not going to say it's a complete, lie. I wouldn't be surprised if it was true. Some truth to it anyways. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I wouldn't be shocked. Gadsden, Juwan Johnson. Let's bring in Eli Stowers. I'm down to 27%. Let's go Emmanuel Wilson at running back. I think that makes sense right here. Trying to get up a little bit on Emmanuel Wilson. They paid him a little bit of money. In theory, if the season started right this second, he'd be RB1 on that team. Obviously, that's not going to be the case later on. But let's go Eli Stowers. I think that's a fun pick. I think that's a fun tight end room. And we're done. 27% Stowers, so back up over 28 now. That's fun. I like this team too. This is a fun squad. Looks like 2783, probably 2693. I have some flexibility. I have a free click of either a wide receiver or running back. I got a free click. We'll see. Odunze is the Bears' number one wide receiver, clearly. I agree. That's my take as well. I'm a big Rome Odunze guy. I always have been. He was my highest drafted player last year, I believe, in Best Ball Mania season. I'm pretty sure on that. He was my number one player drafted, and it was looking great for the first about 7 weeks, right? I was looking really smart. It was looking great. Then the injury, and then trying to play through an injury, blah, blah, blah. We all know the story, but I'm a big Rome Odunze guy. I loved his college tape. I just thought he was that dude. I really did. I thought he was that dude. And I nothing's changed. So yeah, I still kind of think he's that dude. Green Bean keeping it to himself. Doesn't want to talk about the Jackson Hawes click. It had to have been the star method. Had to have been. Just got Josh Allen, started up a bunch of Buffalo Bills, ended up getting Jackson Hawes in the 14th. That'll happen. Let's get your guys season, man. It's the end of draft season. End of the draft season. Let's get your guys. I'm positive that was an accident by Green Bean there. He is that dude. I would be inclined to agree. I mean, I'm the one that said it, so yeah. This does happen though. Again, like with Green Bean, that was definitely an accident. He drafts a lot. I'm very, 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 very confident that drafting Jackson Hawes in the 14th round was a 100% an accident by Green Bean over there. Still upset. Underdog doesn't have Ja'Day Walker in the pool. He's technically wide receiver 4 right now for the Bears. I wouldn't be drafting him, but that's fine. If you want to go nuts. I mean, he's one injury away to having some value, I suppose, but that's sick, Who Ames. You're a sicko. Taking a bit of Walker and DK and drafters. You're sick, man. You're sick, man. Need it for BBM. Frog Clone over here is drafting Ja'Day Walker too. You guys are sick. Dalton Kincaid was just injured by a guy named Green Bean. I guess he is wide receiver 3. Yeah. Yeah, I guess he is. I mean, I more was thinking 4th option. So, yeah, I guess he is wide receiver 3, 4th option on that team. Yeah. Yeah, him versus Raymond, you're right. Unless you think Khalif Raymond. but I think it would be Ja'Day Walker because he's just a bigger outside type wide receiver. If my memory serves me correctly, I could be wrong on that. Geez, I haven't thought about Ja'Day Walker in some time, but I'm pretty sure he's a bigger outside type wide receiver, and Burden is your slot type guy. But I could be wrong on that. Yeah, definitely star method. Picks fell right on shift change here at work. Yeah, that'll happen. That'll happen. I was defending the green bean. I knew it would be an accident. Had to be 100% had to be an accident. We're taking wide receiver, running back. If they're there, I don't think there's a running back I need here at all. There's definitely not. We're gonna go Brazel and Jeremy Bernard. Didn't get Jeremy Bernard in my last draft. I'm down to 65%, 66, we'll call it. That's not happening on my watch. So we'll get a little more Brazel. That feels good. Get some more Jeremy Bernard. Always a good click. Always a good click for Jeremy Bernard. And then we'll see. That might mean that we stop at wide receiver and we take 2 more running backs. That might be what that means. We'll see when we get down there. Jordan James and Najee getting pulled up a little bit. But that's okay. Makes sense. Yeah, Raymond versus him for the RB3 or the wide receiver 3. My man crush on Romadunze is still standing. So is mine. A couple shares of Raymond. I'm just drafting the big 3 and calling it a day, and then Swift a little bit. I think Cole Kmet's honestly a better click than any of the wide receiver 3s. Like if we're talking Raymond, Ja'Day Walker, I think Cole Kmet would be a better click if I'm being honest. Weird way to let my coworkers know I'm gambling at work. Ben Johnson brought him in. That's true. He did bring in Raymond from the Lions. That is true. He does like him, but I think he likes him mostly for special teams. I don't think he's like, man, we got to get the ball in your hands over a guy like Luther Burden or anyone else. Decent coach speak last year. Again, I'll stick with my, I think Cole Kmet's kind of the guy that I would click. I don't think I'd go. Can learn from Raymond. I mean, Raymond's a vet, so sure, you can learn some stuff. You can always learn from vets, right? Doesn't just because he's like a lesser known sort of journeyman type of guy, special teamer type of guy. Raymond's built out a pretty good career for himself, Khalif Raymond. So, good on him. Definitely can't hate a guy like that. He's a good team guy. He's a good guy to have in your team all around. Good roster guy, locker room guy. I mean, and again, he can definitely do some stuff. He can definitely play in the NFL. That's for sure. So, yeah. Bears feel alive for one of these day 2 wide receivers. That could be a thing as well. I would think they would look for like a big body guy, like a true outside type of guy. We'll see. Even like a Colby Young, something like that. Eric McAllister, maybe a day 3 guy with those two. Maybe a day 2 guy, like, I don't know if they're a day 2 guy. I think they need to work on the defensive line, especially. Yeah, I'd be pretty surprised if they took a wide receiver relatively early with Burden and Loveland being early round picks last year. I think that'd be surprising. Boston round 1, fuck it. That would be interesting. That would really hurt Roma Dunze, in my opinion, but I just don't think it'll happen. Just had your phone and TV do a dance back and forth. I think we'll do running backs. I think there just might not be any guys that I like enough to click at the same time. So I might not take 2 running backs here. Like, I don't really know who you take here. and feel great about it. I don't feel good about, well, there's a couple guys I guess I could go with. What wide receivers are still there? It's kind of the same old, same old. Let's go Claiborne and Giddens. 5% Giddens feels fine. Claiborne's getting up there, rookie running back in a 7 RB build. I think that's fine. Giddens could just still be the direct handcuff. I know some guys like Seth McGowan, and he's okay, I suppose, but I would rather know the situation with Giddens than take a guy like McGowan personally. I don't think Jaden Blue makes sense. I just don't want to take that chance on this team. I think Giddens makes more sense than any of these other guys. I really do. So let's do that. I don't mind this team. It's interesting. I got a lot of AFC South over here with the running backs, Montgomery, Tootin, Giddens. Some bringbacks, double stack bringback with the Chiefs. We'll see where these guys all go, but I like these wide receiver values, these rookie wide receiver values at the end of the draft here. I like my tight end room. Yeah, it's a fun team, fun build. I think it can work. Any love for Taj Brooks? I would have a little more than last year. I mean, everybody was high on Taj Brooks last year. I was 0%. Being a Bengals fan, they were never playing Taj Brooks last year. It was never going to happen. And they didn't. This year, they might play him a little bit. I don't know if I would draft him just yet. Maybe over the summer in the big board, I wouldn't do it. They could take a running back that could just replace him, sort of thing, as far as like what his position offers. They do stuff like that, so they could. Not that I think they will, or you should like be so concerned that don't draft Taj Brooks because they might draft a running back. We should never play that game, in my opinion. But he's more live to play this year than he ever was last year, in my opinion. But I'm not so sure I would take him in the big board. I haven't, and I won't, but I don't think it's prudent to take him in the big board. I think we can wait till summer on Taj Brooks. Like, regardless, he's not going to be a league winner, no matter what. He's never going to be a league winner. But he could have some value. Don't get me wrong. He could be draftable. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think it's necessary to take that kind of gamble and to pull the trigger on a guy like that in the big board personally. You took one chair. It's ugly down here. It definitely is in the running back spot. That's why we can't fall behind realistically. That's how we all feel. LeClint Allen, I liked a lot more before Rodriguez came in, obviously. 2 clicks on Caleb Johnson, sure. Few clicks on Brashard Smith, sure. Samaje, I believe, is still under contract this year with the Bengals as well. And if he's there, he's gonna, for his pass protection, he's gonna get some minutes. He's gonna get some snaps. So that hurts Taj Brooks, obviously. But we'll see how that works out. Some guys like Etienne, Trevor, that is. I'm not about that life, but I could see it. And then there's these other rookies that, yeah, maybe they'll have value. They're just tough to click, in my opinion. Le'Veon Moss, Hemby, all these types of guys, Black, and all the way up to Seth McGowan, Adam Randall. Guys like to click them. I can understand it, but it's just not for me personally. It's really ugly down here. GGOTS, appreciate that. Always good drafting. Absolutely. Let's wrap this one up. Let's go through the team. 2783, Justin Herbert, Jackson Dart. I think that's good enough. That'll work for me. Yeah, that'll work for me. Devon Achane, David Montgomery, Bashal Tootin, Rashad White, Emmanuel Wilson, Devon Claiborne, and DJ Giddens. I think we're fine. It's pretty strong up top for the most part. Went away from RBs, came back with a couple clicks, couple handcuff type guys that could have a role. But our top 3 is really what's going to get us through. Hopefully Rashad White doesn't get just outright replaced with Jeremiah Love in this build. Emmanuel Wilson should have a role, probably. I don't mind it. That can definitely work. CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, nice discount on AJ Brown. Ladd McConkey, Xavier Worthy, Omar Cooper, Deebo Samuel, Chris Brazel, and Jeremy Bernard. I really like this wide receiver room quite a bit. Getting some discount on AJ Brown's always nice. Really high on Ladd. I think there's a lot of meat on the bone with Worthy, some rookies that I like. And if Debo goes to the Rams, I'm in good shape. Gadsden, Johnson, and Stowers in my tight end room. That's enough for me. Yeah, this is a fun team. A couple of fun teams tonight. I like them both. I think they both have a shot to advance and make some noise potentially. I haven't been drafting good lately. Just saying, hey, that'll happen, man. We'll go through some snaps, especially if you're taking a break or you haven't gotten a lot of reps in, sort of thing. Christian Kirk, ADP. What are we talking here? Where did he go? Did he go super high or super late or something? Do I like Christian Kirk? I do like Christian Kirk enough. I've only clicked him a few times. 15th round is where he's at now. Health has always been the concern with Christian Kirk, realistically, at least like lately in the last few years. Quality player. He can do well in that offense, but he could be replaced too. We'll see. Mike Evans, Pearsall, Kittle, McCaffrey. It's a lot of competition, but I think he's a fine click in best ball, that's for sure. And I have been a little bit here and there. We're done. We're gonna wrap it up. I'm not gonna be here Friday night. We're not drafting Friday night. I have a little bit of hockey practice kind of thing scheduled up, so no stream on Friday night. We might do a pop-up over the weekend. It's a long weekend for, I think, everybody, right? I mean, it's Easter, Good Friday this weekend, or this Friday. So we might do like a pop-up stream somewhere. So hit the notification bell, hit the like button on your way out. If you're new, hit subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Help me out. But regardless, for sure, we'll be back on Monday night. Or no, Thursday, actually tomorrow night, we're going live with Nice and Blunt. That's happening. So that'll be fun. We'll do that, and then we'll see if we go live over the weekend. If not, Monday for sure, sort of thing. But Nice and Blunt tomorrow night is the plan. So unless something changes, that's what's going to happen there. Like I was saying, Off the Schneid, if you're afraid to be wrong, you'll never be right. Hopefully tonight I was right. We win the big board. Have yourselves a great night. We'll see you soon.